Over the last 5,000 years, the land we now call Iran has been repeatedly invaded, occupied, and burned by Greeks, Arabs, and Mongols. Yet, while other ancient empires vanished into the history books, Iranian civilization survived. This longevity is built into the physical architecture of the plateau. The Zagros and Alborz mountain ranges form massive, jagged walls that act as a natural fortress around the region. Looking at this topograph Hunat of the Iranian plateau, you can see exactly how this terrain dictated human life. The center is dominated by deadly, unlivable deserts. These harsh conditions forced early settlements to cluster into specific fertile valleys, tucked inside the mountain corridors. Because of this layout, any merchant, army, or diplomat moving between east and west was funneled through these exact mountain passes. Controlling these narrow crossings provided the immense economic and military leverage required to build the world's first global superpowers. In 550 BC, Cyrus the Great weaponized this geography, uniting the regional tribes to forge the vast Achaemenid Empire. When Cyrus conquered rival kingdoms like Babylon, he implemented an unprecedented policy of religious tolerance and restoration rather than mass enslavement. He permitted exiled groups, including the Jews, to return to their homelands. This artifact, the Cyrus Cylinder, is the physical record of that policy. To bind their sprawling territories, the Achaemenids engineered the 2,700-kilometer Royal Road through the rugged plateau. This slashed logistical friction. Couriers relayed messages from Susa to Sardis, shrinking a 3-month journey to a single week, rapidly centralizing immense wealth. But a centralized crossroads can be turned against its builders. Alexander the Great exploited those exact routes to march his Macedonian armies across the plateau, ultimately burning the ceremonial capital of Persepolis to the ground. The Achaemenids collapsed, but the physical choke points of the plateau remained in place, ensuring a new power would eventually rise to claim them. Over the following centuries, the Parthian and Sassanid empires resurged, utilizing the mountain strongholds to block Roman expansion into the east for generations. Yet, exhausted by 400 years of war with Rome, the Sassanid military defenses finally broke in the 7th century against the advancing Arab-Muslim armies, shifting the region's religious landscape. 6 centuries later, the Mongols swept through from Central Asia. Their arrival brought catastrophic destruction, wiping out entire populations and reducing thriving Persian cities to ash. Here lies the central paradox of Iranian history. The invaders completely shattered the physical armies, but the underlying culture remained intact. Both the Arab caliphates and the Mongol Khans discovered they lacked the bureaucracy to govern the plateau. They were forced to adopt Persian administrative models, eventually embracing the Persian language, poetry, and art to manage their new territories. Beyond its physical mountain walls, Iran relied on its cultural identity to absorb and transform foreign powers, effectively conquering its conquerors from within. By the early 16th century, the Safavid dynasty emerged, pulling the fragmented plateau back together under a unified Persian state. By establishing Twelver Shia Islam as the official state religion, they created a deep religious and political schism between Iran and its Sunni neighbors. This stability sparked a massive cultural and economic renaissance. They transformed their new capital, Isfahan, building colossal public spaces and grand mosques to showcase their wealth and architectural engineering to the global trade market. The Safavids successfully fused ancient Persian heritage with Shia Islamic theology. That dual identity remains the foundation of the Iranian state today. In the 20th century, the Pahlavi dynasty attempted to forcibly pull the nation into the modern era. Supported by the West, they launched rapid industrialization campaigns while using autocratic suppression and a feared secret police to maintain absolute control. The resulting social inequality and political silencing united a diverse coalition of students, workers, and clerics. This massive pushback ignited the 1979 Islamic Revolution, replacing the monarchy with Ayatollah Khomeini's theocratic republic. Today, the modern Islamic Republic wrestles with intense geopolitical friction, crippling economic sanctions, and a young population putting massive demographic pressure on the government for change. Individual rulers, The kings, khans, and ayatollahs are fleeting chapters in the narrative of a civilization that has weathered 5 millennia in its mountain crucible.